Hey guys, how's it going? Yuri here with you, and today I'm going to be talking about 4 odd ways your gut, yes, your gut, could be sabotaging your weight loss. Now I know this sounds like a really odd, almost reverse way of thinking about it, and most people think about, well, my gut is the results of my inability to lose weight, but actually what I'm talking about is deeper inside, which is your actual gut, like your large intestine, that area, right? And the first thing to remember is that your gut is considered outside of your body. So when you put something in your mouth, that distance, that tube that it goes down all the way up until it goes out your anus, is considered outside your body. The only time something becomes part of the inside of your body is when it passes through the intestinal barrier. So that's an important thing to remember, because your gut lining, right, this is your gut lining for here, for the sake of this video, is really like a fortress wall around the castle. And the inside of your body is the castle. And if you've got like the princess in the tower, you don't want bad stuff getting inside, because that's when problems occur. So I'm going to show you 4 weird ways, and really they're weird because not a lot of people think about this, that gut health or poor gut health, imbalanced bacteria, also known as dysbiosis, can actually impair your ability to lose weight and in fact make you gain weight. So you ready to jump in? All right, we're gonna have some fun on the whiteboard here. I'm just gonna draw some random stuff like I always do. It's a lot of fun, right? Okay, so step 1 is that this is your gut lining, right? And this is your gut lining on drugs, as the commercial goes, right? Okay, so in all seriousness, your gut lining has these little pores. And when you eat food, right, you've got these food particles that come down, and normally they should be kind of dealt with in the stomach, like chopped down, churned up, broken down with the acid and the enzymes in the stomach, so that these bigger food particles, right, should actually be individual little food particles, and then they can go through the intestinal wall, they're sent off to the liver for processing, and then they go to your body. That's normally what's supposed to happen. But what happens is, a lot of times, is when you don't digest your food properly, or when you're eating foods that have, let's say, bigger food particles or protein particles that don't get broken down, these larger food particles can now kind of lodge into these pores and irritate the lining of your gut, and actually over time widen those pores. And that's known as leaky gut, where you start having big food particles, proteins, seeping through the gut and into the bloodstream. Now what that does is that's like, whoa, the immune system's like, what's going on here? This is not right. So it triggers an immune response, which eventually leads to inflammation. And inflammation leads to higher cortisol. And if you remember one of my previous videos on 3 ways stress makes you fat, you'll remember that high cortisol leads to belly fat. And high cortisol can be a result of too much inflammation. Too much inflammation can arise as a result of stuff leaking out of your gut that shouldn't be there in the first place. So this is really important to seal up, okay? So inflammation is the number 1 way, or in this case, way number 1, that gut dysbiosis really kind of works against your fat loss efforts. Now the second way is that it actually impairs your liver's ability to get rid of excess estrogen. So estrogen is, obviously it's an important hormone that we all have, more in women than men obviously, but there's an enzyme in your liver called beta-glucuronidase, which helps to speed estrogen metabolism and kind of excretion out of the body. And that is basically severed when there's too much bad bacteria in your gut. So when that balance of good and bad bacteria is off. So that's a big problem, because if you have too much estrogen in your body, then that becomes an issue, because if you've got a lot of estrogen, there tends to be a compromise on your ability to lose weight. And also estrogen is pro-growth. So if you've got fat cells in your body and you've got a lot of estrogen, the estrogen is going to tend to want to increase the size of those fat cells as the nature of what that hormone does. So that's number 2. The third way that dysbiosis or poor gut health increases your fat is directly through the toxins in the bad bacteria. So you have these bad bacteria that, we'll just you know, make them red, because red is the color of evil, right? And these bad bacteria will, you know, like all living organisms, excrete waste, right? They go to the bathroom, they do their number 2, and when they do, they give off this thing called LPS, or lipopolysaccharides, which are a form of toxic secretion or waste from these bad bacteria. And again, this LPS can then secrete, or just escape into the bloodstream and create inflammation once again. It also increases burden on the liver because the liver has to now process a lot of that. But here's the other thing that LPS does, is that I've got all these, I'm like juggling markers here. It actually directly increases not only the size of your fat cells, but research has shown that it increases new fat cells. So it actually stimulates the formation of brand new fat cells, which is not good, right? Because if you have, you know, too much estrogen, again, you can be a male and have too much estrogen. It's very common. So it's not just for women. Too much cortisol, too much inflammation. If all that stuff's going on and you're getting new fat cells, well, guess what? All of these triggers are going to increase the size of the existing fat cells and the new ones. Not good, right? So the fourth way that, can't even get this cap off. Fourth way that the gut impairs your ability, again, poor gut health, I should say, impairs your ability to lose weight is as a function of what it does. I'm just gonna randomly draw this. It's called your thyroid. Okay. So it's like a butterfly looking, I hope that's on the camera, yeah. It looks a bit like a butterfly, and what it does is the thyroid secretes 2 hormones, T4 and T3. We'll just keep it simple like that for now. And what they do is T4 is converted into T3, because T3 is really the active one that does all the stuff in the body. So it goes to your cells and says, knock, knock, hey, guess what? It's time to, you know, crank up the fireplace. But if T3 is not reaching your cells, or if it's not being converted, if T4 is not being converted to T3, then your cells are not going to be metabolically active, right? So the problem with gut health here is that 20% of that conversion happens in here. So 20% of conversion from T4 to T3 occurs in the gut. If the gut is out of whack, too much bad bacteria to good bacteria, that conversion is going to go down significantly, which means that you could be pumping out all the T4 you want, but if it's not being converted to active T3, then you're gonna feel sluggish, you're gonna have a tough time losing weight, you're gonna have dry, brittle hair, skin, and nails, right? All those classic symptoms of low thyroid function. You're gonna feel cold. Basically, the fireplace has dimmed. That's essentially what's happening with low thyroid function. So, 4 ways that poor gut health compromises your ability to lose weight. Now, if you want the solution to all this stuff, obviously it's, you know, this pretty involved. I'd highly recommend you grab a copy of my upcoming book, The All-Day Fat Burning Diet, where I'm going to show you how to rectify this problem and reset your metabolism to lose up to 5 pounds per week. So, the book releases in December. You can pre-order your copy now, and when you do, I'm also going to hook you up with about $116 worth of bonuses, absolutely free, and new bonuses every month leading up to the release of the book. This is a program I've taken hundreds and hundreds of people through, and it's been amazing to see what's happened. It's a very intuitive way of eating. It's really the only diet that actually honors the way your body wants to eat. So it's not about restriction, deprivation, having to eat all the time. It's none of that. It's actually using a very unique 5-day food cycling formula that is very intuitive and natural to your body's natural rhythms, and it helps you lose weight almost effortlessly. So if you want to grab it, check it out. The link for that is below. It's an awesome book, and I hope you grab a copy, because you know, if you're still looking to lose weight, you obviously need to be doing something different. This can be going on, right? We're going to help you solve some of these issues and then some inside the book. So I hope this video has found you well. Hopefully it's given you some insights into what might be going on. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next video.